How do the clouds stay in the sky?
God is keeping them there.
The reason they believe in God is because of the unknowns in nature.
As the mysteries diminish, God will vanish.
In atheist philosophy, this is called something, the God of the gaps argument. So there are things we don't know about the universe. There is the part we don't know, saying God, and freezing it. When you look at it, there were a lot of things in this equation. The people 60,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago didn't know, right? Why earthquakes occur, why the sun where it rises and sets, why storms arise origin, why the world is round or matters as they turn, historical reason and thinking stage has been concluded. So the field of the unknown is the set. As x gradually decreases, its place in the equation has gradually diminished.
The God of the gaps argument is a risky business. As science advances, God retreats.
Is the source of belief in God the unknowns in nature? When science fails to explain certain things, do we say, this is what God does? Do we believe in God because of the gaps? Is this how you believe in God? Let's look at rain. How does rainwater stay in the clouds? How do clouds stay balanced in the air? Why don't they fly off into space? These things weren't known before. Scientists are studying rain and discovering these laws of nature. Rain falls in accordance with these laws. Is there any space left? No. So once we figured out the perfectly functioning rain system built in the sky, isn't there any need for a builder? Rain exists in our homes on a miniature scale. Let's use the shower example. What would a Martian engineer say if he saw our bathroom and figured out our shower system?
It seems simple. It must have happened by chance.
Or does he say this?
Earthlings have established an excellent system.
This is 1/4 rate, a scaled-down automobile engine. This is the first version of the engine. It was produced 150 years ago. This is the basis of gasoline engines. Thousands of engineers over the years developed and became like this, the result of 150 years of evolution. What would the same Martian engineer think if he examined this engine?
How does this liquid turn into fire? How is thrust generated? How do these provide thrust?
There are gaps that the Martian engineer cannot solve. What if a Martian engineer tried to figure it out by examining and studying how the engine worked? What if he learned every single gap?
It could have formed on its own in the scrap yard. No engineer needed.
Or does he say,
they have achieved great success. I congratulate the Earth engineers.
I am not an engineer. I don't know the working mechanism of this engine. There are many points that I do not understand. I don't understand how these parts work. Why can't I figure out this part like this? I can't fully understand the function of the engine's propeller. Whether I understand it or not, this engine needs an engineer for 2 reasons. First, there is a work of art. There is a system that works. This engine can't form spontaneously. The second one is this. Before me is such an artistically constructed engine that, despite all my knowledge, I cannot figure out how it works. The gaps I cannot comprehend reveal that the artwork before me is not simple, but rather even more complex. The points I cannot resolve increase the need for an engineer. The more I learn about the wonders of how things work, the more my admiration for engineers grows. If I remove any part from this engine, it will stop. All the parts are interconnected. This piece has something to do with it. This has something to do with it. If this doesn't work, the other one won't work.
The cell is lifeless, like jelly. It cannot be the source of life.
So there is God behind it.
The human body consists of cells. There are dozens of types of complex motors in every cell. Scientists shed light on a different gap every year. As gaps disappear, it becomes apparent that the mechanisms of creation are even more magnificent. In the last century, the cell mystery has been largely clarified. DNA software has been discovered. 93 scientists received the Nobel Prize for revealing the art within the cell. As the gaps were filled in, it became apparent that the mechanisms at work were even more magnificent. The human body maintains its vitality through complex organs composed of cells. If one is missing, vitality disappears. They are all interconnected. Humans are perfect beings, but they need an environment and surroundings to live. A human being cannot live anywhere else in the world with this body. It cannot survive on another planet. My lungs and the atmosphere are connected. If it breaks down, I can't breathe. My heart can't keep beating on Venus. My kidneys don't work on Mercury. My brain stops at Saturn. My eyes cannot see Jupiter. There is harmony between my eyes and the sun. I can't see it if it breaks. There are hundreds of different and interconnected mechanisms in the ecosystem. Different on land and sea, there is a balance of elements. If the rates change, life ends. Systems that work like clockwork. Photosynthesis system, water cycle, carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle, phosphorus cycle. There are still gaps in these mechanisms that science has yet to resolve. What would happen if all these gaps were closed? We notice the new works of art hidden in those empty spaces. And our admiration for the inaccessibility of God's art increases even more.